to look in the direction of creating additional positions in our various district offices. Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues, attached herewith are the proposed positions to be created following your indulgence. Best regards, Honorable Anthony F. Williams, Representative, Liberia District, in 2 Maryland County. Positions. 1. Youth Coordinator District Office. 2. Women Coordinator District. 3. Religious Coordinator District Office. 4. Information Officer District Office. 5. Coordinator People Living with Disabilities. 6. Coordinator for Disadvantaged District Youth. 7. District Scholarship Coordinator. And 8. District Security Coordinator. Mr. Speaker, Honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was a reading of a communication from your honorable colleague of District 2 Maryland County for your legislative action.
With the reading of the communication from Honorable Williams, what is your will and pleasure? Honorable Colette.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, having listened to the reading of the communication from our colleague from Legislature District, Maryland County, I move, if I can obtain a second, that said communication be open for discussion, followed subsequently by the best legislative action.
There has been moved and seconded. Are you ready to vote? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Honorable Williams.
Don't go there, let's stand here.
Our Xavier whistleblowers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, our Xavier whistleblowers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, fellow colleagues. I wrote this communication from the, like the checklist from the documents that I received from our office to the documents. I got to realize that the pay grade for our staffers was so troubling to the extent that I decided to do an analysis as per their net worth. After doing that analysis, I realized that, for example, I told the chief of officer COS, if you take a COS from Legislature District to come to Boston County to serve you, if he or she is making $500 or $550 as a net, one bedroom house in Boston County costs only $150 per month, and he or she will pay out 6 months or 1 year. So if we keep, I don't think they will grow. And the essence of our coming here is to be able to exhibit the reciprocity. If you give me today, I should give you tomorrow. The weight of our staffers today, each and every one of us are here, roll on the back the sweat of the staffers in our office and people in our district. Now, it is an opportunity for us to be one among equal. There are some people in the district who are stronger than us, who push the argument more than us, but they thought it was important and they gave us the benefit of the doubt also. So when we are here, we also need to make it our duty to argue for the staffers who are representing us in our office. For example, there are some institutions in government there are some institutions here who are declared as a social club, but they are managing government money. Coordinator is making up to $1,500. They got gas, they got everything at their disposal. Then our staff who are wasting their life. For me, what I went through, I will always want to make my staffers happy. Because there were some times in the night, Mr. Speaker, like there in the speaker, fellow police, I would not get out. Staffers were in the swamp in the night. There are some places they will call me to stay in the car. The staff will stay there for me. So how come, within the drop of an eye, Anthony Williams' life has changed, and the staff work in my office remain the same. Georgia fellow colleagues. On the other issue about staffers created another position. In 2021, the Senate did it. It created some positions in that office, and I thought that it was also important that all of us here, even giving us 16 or 17 staff Mr. Speaker. Some of us won 10,000 plus votes here, and then even a little 16. And that do for the people in the who find the difficult maybe staff office right now. It's not easy. So we really need to work towards this. So I decided to create the indulgence of our honorable lawmakers that we should create another position in the district office. For example, the youth coordinator. If a senator goes to Liberia County today, and a representative goes to the county, Mr. Speaker, trust me, the representative house will be back with every complaint more than the senator. Anybody die in Maryland County, make sure that he or she died from a district. When the senator goes to Maryland, I don't go to Hapua or go to Palu or Aribo. When I'm from Pligo, I saw enough people today. I start to take on the responsibility of that person. So we ask that few positions be created for the district office to enhance our activities. The youth coordinator. There are so many youth activities in the district. If we have a youth coordinator in our various districts, I can assure you all of these issues that borders around the young people. When we get there, that youth coordinator can pack them together and we want to deal with them and bit by bit. We also talk about the women coordinator. Many a time, women are very important in carrying on in this process. For me, there are a lot of people who support them in Pligo. But when I come to town, I look through the entire position, everything, administrative assistant, all assistant, political officer, where is the role of the women? So we also need to find out to work towards having a women representation in our district office to coordinate all of the duties, what are the social you want to make, who you want to do, so they can be able to represent, because they are the people we are representing. So they must be represented in our district office. I talk about the religion coordinator. In my district, I got the Fulan people, and I got the Manigo people. How can I coordinate if there was something happening? I must have somebody in my office that we deal with it on a daily basis, dealing with it so that when anything comes out of the Fulan people, that person will be there to represent me, or something out of the minority. I also talk about information officer in the district. It's very important. All our work in our district must be communicated to the people. That is the reason why some lawmakers have been extremely wide in the district who to communicate information. If you are the lawmaker and you communicate your own information, it will communicate to the people. They will say no. But if you have somebody there who is close with the authority to articulate your problems, I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, that office will be very strong, and both of us here will come back here again in 2029 will be celebrating here. So, the one people with disabilities, physically challenged people, just take, for example, the people that are all in our district. For me, I have people in wheelchair, people with crutches, if you watch a video celebrating all in the street, because I have within the people of Lagos in the street. How can I bring these people in Monrovia? We need to go back to the office of the district for
The honorable gentleman is not campaigning. Can you not this stuff?
I always conclude the speaker. Normally the speaker. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. We talk about the disadvantaged youth. Again, all of us here got these people in our place. How can we handle these people in order to be able to be in this position? So, Mr. Speaker, scholarship, what we talk also is very important. Security. All of us here for me our attack on so many locations during the campaign. So we need to have a security coordinator in our district as well, to work with the police, to work with the community watch forum, to work with the bus stops, to be able to coordinate so that when we get there, we can be informed about something. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, fellow police, I crave your indulgence to escort me down this road to make something meaningful for our people that will walk on the back and wishing this place. I so submit. Thank you.
Honorable Koga.
Presiding, let me firstly extend my thanks and commendation to our police from Maryland County for joining us in the struggle of improving and increasing the Stafford proposal. But Mr. Presiding, it is a fun idea. And I think that the two propositions that you come through one communication, the issue of increment will be something that we should take into consideration. If you have effective staff, minimum staff that make good money, you will see efficiency and effectiveness. If you have many staff for and making less salary, there will be less fair. So with the proposition being made, I would suggest that the Committee on Ways, Means and Finance Design and the Committee on Rules of Administration to make an analysis on those issues, starting from Chief of Office staff down to our page, to see how best they can adjust their salary in that direction. Then looking at the issue of adding up another person, I would suggest that the one should be a women representation, which is very significant. I think that proposal will be all right and increase the salary of the staff in the women intervention. Thank you very much.
I want to take a way forward unless there's contrasting view. Contrasting view, Honorable Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for presiding for this. My view is not contract, but to be given the opportunity of the people who are district number 2 might be coming for us to refer and decide to use that medium. But let me say thanks to my colleague from district number 2, Maryland County, for raising this issue. Mr. Speaker, if we were to read Article 18 of the Liberian Constitution, it calls for equal right, equal pay. Consider us as lawmakers and have jurisdiction over a district. I think the largest district now should be district number 4, Maserati County, that have close to 74,000. So it means that the lawmaker in district number 4, in terms of his direct impact, he has the responsibility of over 74,000 persons. And he's been helped by the office staffers that he employs. Were you to consider the chief of office staff in the lawmaker's office salary as compared to the chief of office staff in a minister's office, our speaker, you will see the huge disparity. On this basis, where our constitution calls for equal work, equal pay, I join my colleague from Maryland County to say yes, this body through the Ways, Means and Finance Committee should take the needed action to ensure that that is ensured. And more to that, the 54 try to harmonize the salary of officials of government. At the end of the day, it did not go well for the government. And when we campaign, each of us here, we campaign in our various districts. Like the senator campaign in the county, and even the presidential candidate campaign in all of the counties, the country at large. They campaign on a platform. And let me say good for us, some of the slogans that were used out there was to restore
From that background, Honorable Speaker, it will cause this body no harm because the current government ideology is to ensure that the harmonization that was done that wasn't in the interest of the Liberian people but reduce their salary, we can restore the people's salary to what it was, and in the same line, use Article 18 of the Liberian Constitution to give equal salary to equal work. I want to rest on that.
Wait for Honorable Colette.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, having listened to the world narrative and explained communication from my colleague from Plebo-Sultan District, whom I love to call the giant killer, and is it sustained? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Along with my colleague, in taking into consideration that it is of importance to this plenary for each and every one of us, or for the people of various districts, to benefit those positions advocating for. Yes, and taking into consideration that the budget is on the way to us. Mr. Speaker, I want to make my way forward with a motion. If it satisfies the gavel, thank you. Having said that, I want to move, if I obtain a second, that the communication be received and sent to the following committees, taking into consideration that the budget hearing has now started, that they can do the best in committee in ensuring that the communication is attended to. 1, Committee on Ways, Means, and Finance. Committee on Rules, Orders, and Administration. Those are the 2 committees, Mr. Speaker, if I can obtain a second.
There has been moved and seconded that the communication from Honorable Williams be referred to the Committee on Ways, Means, and Finance and the Committee on Rules, Order, and Administration for appropriate analysis and recommendation back to plenary. Are you ready to vote? Already. Okay, I'll start on this side and on that side. Honorable Cunningham.
Mr. Speaker, I think both of you should also look at this direction, please.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker of fellow colleagues. So the movement, I'll be ready to vote if you give a time limit of at least 2 weeks to report to plenary.
Thank you, Honorable. Taking into consideration that the budget hearing has not started, and the motion says to make analysis, so it will be difficult for the committee to make analysis in the absence of the budget when the budget hearing has not started. So please permit me to respectfully disagree on who.
But you can make that announcement before the budget comes.
Already, Honorable Mohan.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy of Police, I will be ready if the body agree that we discuss on the number of staff that we added there. Certainly, go to Parliament.
Thank you, Honorable. If you heard the communication, the number of staff, their position, description, work description, everything are well stated in the communication. So please accept me to disagree respectfully.
Honorable Coon.
Honorable Speaker, fellow colleagues, are we ready to vote in moving in amending the motion to one, Committee on Labor should be added. 2, that the timeline should be given to this point because we need to be informed before the budget arrives whether it is possible to set this fee for the benefit of our staff.
The movement.
Yeah, I propose 2 weeks.
Let me say,
Data available for us to work on the budget as well.
let me say to Honorable with the 2 amendments, I would want to accept one and reject one. Taking into consideration of the flow, everyone requesting for time, I will respectfully accept that the 2 weeks be given to the committee, but I will respectfully not accept the issue of labor to be added.
Honorable Power.
Then why you reject that invite?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, who presiding, fellow colleagues, I personally want to extend my thanks and appreciation to my colleagues. Breaking this vote, they get like a plum tree. You people can vote on the plum tree to find a plum. I already flashed my torch on the plum, but he's the one that picked it. So thank you very much for bringing this forward. The issue of committees, I will be ready to vote if we can add the committee on judiciary for advice. Thank you.
To the movement.
Mr. Speaker, taking into consideration that the issue of pay, it is established by law. And the labor law is stated as equal work, equal pay. I will respectfully decline to accept said amendments.
Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready to vote if the movement can consider the necessary change. The issues above has to do with governance, and it has to do with our separate districts in terms of how the Liberian people see us. Governance issue is a serious matter, and that's one of the reasons why most of our colleagues do not return. I'll be ready to vote if the Committee on Good Governance is included to understand the governance implications of what has happened and move forward.
Thank you, Honorable Foley, Former Chairman on Good Governance. Let me say to you, taking into consideration, as already stated, that it's about the governance of the state, I wholeheartedly accept.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues. Honorable Speaker, I will be ready to vote if those committees will also look at the security aspect our brother spoke of that has to do with lawmakers, that the executive provides state security and the police. Each lawmaker will be added onto our private security for our own security mission.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Hello? As far I'm concerned, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, there is an act lying before this legislature called the Capital Police Act. And taking into consideration that the EPS or state, the police fall under the domain of the executive, I think the best to do is for us to enact our Capital Police Act and have our own police of our own jurisdiction, then to borrow forces from the executive, thereby subjecting ourselves to the authority of the executive. I therefore reject.
Honorable Gojo. I think that the last.
Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, movement.
I will appeal to your consciences. Please consider the committee on labor because as you were rejecting, you also quoted the
The
labor
gentleman
law.
is out of order. It was already rejected.
As to why the committee of labor should be included because we are discussing wages of employees. Whether to take it up to remove consent, it has to do with the Decent Work Act. And so my unreadiness will be that we reconsider and allow the committee on labor to form part of this investigation.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy, distinguished colleague, having listened to Sir Unreadiness from the lecturing room, I have learned a lot from his wisdom. It seems that I seem to be very calmness to reject. So I therefore say I accept.
Honorable colleague.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I didn't listen to my colleague. I want to suggest that my argument is that given that he talks about coordinator where people living with disability, and he said coordinator give for people with disadvantage youth. If we can just play that, then of course I will be willing to vote. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, in the wisdom of this plenary and by expediency, this is why we are sent to committee. We cannot therefore sit on this floor to do the work of the committee whom we trust on this floor. So, our colleague of our council, please permit me to respectfully reject.
We're close on responsibility.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, are we ready to vote? If we adjust the nomenclature of our staff, some of the names are demeaning, like Yabo and all these things, so that while the amount is being kept, we can have the flexibility to create nomenclature for our staff that will fit the work that we do for us. Thank you.
All those in favor?
I have a story. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Deputy, distinguished colleagues, I know when this nomenclature as is inscribed within the legislature, it has some security implication. To see someone as a husband being called a Yabo, that's true. So I would say to the chair on national security for security inference, I yet accept.
All those in favor of the motion as amended, please make it known by saying aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. Madam Chief Clerk, please refer it to the relevant committee. Miscellaneous, I have a few items on miscellaneous. But I want to inform the members my office procedure, especially for those of you who are new. Members have priorities to come to my office. So please walk in at any time. If I'm in the office with one of your colleagues and it's a private matter, I will ask you to wait. If I'm in the office with a non-colleague but it's very important, I'll ask you to wait. But other than that, I'll ask anybody else to leave my office and give you priority. Some of the staff do not know all of you. So please forgive them if they ask you to identify yourself. As time goes by, we'll learn each other and we'll know each other. Just in case you are staff, I don't think that anybody will. We have a number of travel opportunities coming up. We set those delegations as necessary. The first one is to Addis Ababa on the 23rd to the 25th. The next one is to Morocco on the 6th to the 8th of March. There is one pending for Israel. I'm not going to schedule that until we know the situation with the war in Gaza. And there is one scheduled for before June in the United States. Once those trips come up, we will set up the appropriate delegations to go. the Honorable Chair on Rules, Order and Administration, we asked at the beginning of our leadership that there be, where is he? That there be an audit of the payroll. There is too much rumor going around about how many people on our payroll and how many people are actually working. If the committee needs expert help in auditing the payroll, we can be glad to audit that. But I think the time has come that we need to know who's working here, how much money they're making, and whether they come to work. It's only fair. You know, there are rumors here that we have 900 people on payroll and 400 people coming to work. If that is the case, we need to get rid of all those people and readjust our payroll. So you have Rules, Order and Administration. You have 1 month to submit to my office an audit of the payroll and employees here, so we can make some decisions. If you need expert help, let us know. We can try to hire some. Any other matters on our miscellaneous? Okay, we'll start on this side now. Honorable Noah.
So my attention has been drawn to honorable members of this house not being identified. We have been seen in the street as John common Liberian at some occasions. So I will appeal to this body on this item. That first, I see old lawmakers, defeated lawmakers say carrying their place. That's wrong. And then we as elected officials, we have been stopping the traffic. We as elected officials, we have been stopping the traffic. We as elected officials, we have been stopping the traffic. And we all bring the glass down to be able to identify ourselves. So if the place are not ready, if I defeated somebody from my district, let me get our place to be using it. And in the meantime, until our place can be ready. The other thing is our ID card. We need our ID card as any other institution to identify yourself. Sometimes it's meaning, depending the occasion, that you will be stopped for a few times and you will be able to explain yourself to that person before they know that you are being elected by the people. And guys, we are being elected by our people to represent them. As such, we should be validated in this country. Thank you so much.
I don't know if I'm being validated, but the gentleman makes 2 good points. We will ask the Sergeant at Arms to work with Rules, Order and Administration, to work with the National Police to retrieve the license plate for persons who are no longer members of this body. Those license plates are within. Those license plates are privileged to members of this body, and those who are no longer members should respectfully assign it. On the issue of ID, I have asked the Rules, Order and Administration to create 3 sets of IDs. 1 for members, 1 for staff, and 1 for visitors. And we'll give 4 passes each to visitors so that each office can have only 4 persons at one time. They are sorting that out, but it's sorted out with report to plenary.
Honorable Speaker.
I will take a miscellaneous. I'm coming on this side.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Deputy Distinguished Police, under this miscellaneous, I want to state this clear. We need to sometimes proceed with the right procedure in terms of handling some of these issues. It might be of good intent, but the choice of words are kept this body to appear with a different motive. What I'm trying to say, Mr. Speaker, is this. There are lawmakers that were not privileged to have returned. And there are procedures set in on this floor to retrieving all plates. If my wisdom can set it right, the Rule, Order and Administration Committee, along with the Chief Clerk Office, has a directory of each of those lawmakers that were not privileged to return. And even those that serve on committees that are not privileged to use those plates that were assigned to those committees before, and new committees are coming. I think we just need to do the most honorable thing by informing those people to return their plate through either the chief clerk office or the rural administration committee office while the new plate is being processed and is sent there. Take for instance, Mr. Speaker, perhaps I serve on a committee and I wasn't privileged to serve on similar committee on your gavel. And perhaps the plate I was using is then assigned to a different person. The rural administrator or chief clerk has not mandated or requested for the plate. Yes. And two, besides making a request, I do not have the new plate. Do you expect me to put that plate down in the meantime while I'm working on it? No. So I think the right thing to be done. Let the court make a request for this people to return the drop plates. And upon returning it, our committee on rural administration should do the most fast thing to ensure that reassignment of plates and availability is made available for people to have access to it. Thank you.
Honorable Maviko. I'm coming on this side.
Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, fellow colleagues, when it comes to the issue of the plates, the one thing that all of us have been fighting to do, if you are an honorable and you did not return, the honorable thing to do two things: your office and the place turning honorably. You don't need any communication for you to return those materials. The second thing that we are working on, Mr. Speaker, there are staffers who have HOR placed on their cars and they take those cars to their clubs in the night. We are already working with the National Police and measures have been put in place. Those places will be retrieved. Those places will be retrieved in a very shortest possible time. The Ministry of Transport and us, with the rules current administration, we've already contacted them. We are in engagement in a very soon as possible time. The Honorable will get their plates. So we're just hoping one of the things the Speaker had done in the appointment of the committees, it will not be their offices. You will get your plate by the committee you are assigned to, more especially statutory committee. If you are foreign affairs, judiciary, they are numbering, no place will come to us, they will make sure we make a place available to you in the shortest possible time. But if you are not honorable, you should be able to return the place. Thank you.
Honorable Gizzy Collins.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished police. I have only one concern. It has been brought to our attention, or to my attention, as co-chair on national security. As some of our colleagues are found the habit of using one plate on two separate vehicles, which is totally wrong. In my mind, it has serious security implications on grounds that those plates can be circulated from one vehicle to another vehicle. Today I was driving the traffic and I saw one plate that is assigned to a specific vehicle on two different cars. I think this should be brought to the Tribunal Valley and we should all take due note and let pay our taxes and have extra vehicles to people and let pay our vehicle to work separately. Thank you very much.
Honorable Thomas.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, our colleagues, let me inform you officially that this morning we almost lost a senator as a result of a fire outbreak. Senator Sir Joseph. They had to fly him out of the window to get him out. In the last 3 weeks, let's say 2 weeks, Pittsfield City has 5 electoral districts. The entire 5 districts does not even have one ordinary fire tunnel before we say fire truck. So we have had about 10 cases just in District 4 in less than 2 weeks. This is very serious. The budget is coming before us. We want to appeal to your gavel if we can include how we can procure a fire tunnel for the Pittsfield City. If we will have to put that into an official communication, we can do that.
Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, something has been brought to my attention and I want to bring it to this August board, and that is the State University, which is the University of Liberia, has been open since the end of February and up to now it's closed. It's because salaries, benefits have not been paid to professors and teachers. And we think from our president annual message to us, education is one of his main focus. And keeping our national university closed just because professors are not being paid, and our brother and sisters are sitting home, is why we have to take into consideration. So I'm asking this member body to see how we can invite the appropriate authority to this body. Because reason why the university stay closed at this time, the students are not in school.
Honorable Chairman on education, can you make an initial inquiry as to the facts on this matter and report to us? Honorable Pamela, then Honorable Jones. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My concern has to do with the reservation the Speaker made that he's giving the Ways and Means, the Rules and Order Committee a month to do payroll audit. Mr. Speaker, the Rules and Order Committee is a committee that has presided over the payroll of the House. I would recommend in this section that an independent body be set up to verify and do a compliance audit of the committee records, because they cannot be the one generating the records and be auditing themselves. Financially, it does not offer well. So I'm asking that a committee be set up, special body be set up to verify the information that has to do with the records of the rules and order. Put on the floor. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. You preside in line with what my colleague just raised. And let me applaud you for being very fast-acted for calling on audit of the bills. But my question is, instead of the rules and order doing it, it will be better we get an independent body. And it's good that we invited the GAC here today. What we could do is invite the GAC to do an employee audit. Because if we did an employee audit, it means that if it is done by an independent body, no one will think that it is a witch hunt. Because even in the 54, we try all means possible to see how best we could reduce the workforce of this place, but it was very difficult. Then the Committee on Ways, Means and Finance and a special committee was set up trying to reduce the workforce from I think 800, and it would not just work. But were we to invite the GAC to do an employee audit, it means that that body will be independent and their recommendation, this body can take a decision on the forward. That's my
Put that on the floor. I don't want to take our time with information, but go ahead. What's the information?
With all listening to the Auditor General here today, we cannot open the personnel department or human resource department to GAC audit. The first thing we're supposed to do is to conduct a risk analysis, a risk assessment of the HR department. There was an HR audit done before. We have a public accounts committee here that has that authority to conduct internal audit. An audit was conducted before when I was serving as the head of the public accounts committee. That was done during
That's a little bit long.
Yeah, so it can still be done. We need to do a risk analysis, do a risk assessment, and look at the risk rating before you can even go into audit.
Okay, I will speak to the chairman of EAC, but we need this done as quickly as possible.
Thank you,
Honorable Bani.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, fellow colleagues, my attention is in the direction of IEC. Within our various communities, the issue of electricity is a problem. In the afternoon, before that time, we see they come out and go off. So at least we can invite them to find out why is the problem.
Put that on the floor. John, Williams, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the concern about the audits of our payroll and audit of other activities in this house cannot be called a business. Arise under the miscellaneous, which also said to remind this plenary that we have already begun the right thing to do. The GSC came and presented an outline, and we have taken a decision to defer that matter to 2 committees as part of conducting a comprehensive review of this legislature, will include the HR and personnel. So I think we are still on the same footing. Let's allow the process that we have already started to follow. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Bishop, then
Speaker,
Honorable Blessed. Okay, I see 4 more, and that's the 4 I will take.
I'm the comment on the lesson plate. When the new leaf grows, it means that the old leaf has fallen. And there is a future prospect of all of us here. I will ask your indulgence, Speaker, do not ask people to remove lesson plates from vehicles. When the new lesson plate is given, and you have the new, it's going to be a different from the previous lesson plate. Automatically fall in line with the security giving. That's what most of the security don't know, most of us. Beyond that, the security and the inspectorate team will be able to identify that these lesson plates are the previous lesson plates and you don't need to use them. At that time, our hands are not going to be in it, like giving many, so that our police will be disgraced in the public. So I'm asking you, begging your indulgence to just allow us to have our new place, and then the security, the police, and the inspectorate team will fall in line with regards to identifying the new place rather than the whole place. That's the whole time.
Honorable Kuhn.
Honorable Speaker, a little different how we urge plenary not to involve the police. Our former police, the honorable people, the state is our dignity. So I think by sending it to the committee to other communicate to the former law because can maintain the priority best procedure forward. That's what we do.
Honorable Blessed.
Honorable Speaker, I have a proposal that I want to put on this floor regarding this capital bill. Capital bill being an important bill. Instead of being individual renovations, since the budget has not been approved, I would suggest that they should be included, the renovation of this whole building be included in the budget, so they can look presented.
And to close, Honorable Romeo Kuya.
Honorable Speaker, which police? Honorable Speaker, I want to draw your attention to the issue that has to do with issuing property on the bankruptcy of government. A few days ago, I wrote a feedback to request on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. As we know, we qualify any kind of travel, we get travel for a passport. So I put information.
Vision Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable colleagues. We did receive a letter from Foreign Affairs on January 25th. I took possession of this letter last session. And in here, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs made it clear that they do not have the authority legally to be able to do that. We are waiting for the confirmation of the Foreign Minister. Once that's done, we do intend to request them to come to plenary so that we can be able to even review these rules and be able to ensure that all members can be able to have access to the parties. So please be patient with us as we work through that.
Anything else? Okay, we'll
Alright, so thanks for following us today on this Thursday session. Thanks for being there. My name is Prince. We're going to take leave of you on this live.
Yeah, also. Already.
On this live broadcast. Join us another time for another live broadcast. Bye-bye.